Boy, it's a beautiful morning today, guys. Well, we got Angel's 2004 Chevy truck in the house, 5.3, just a single cab. It come in barely moving. Fluid looks really dark. It's got a 4L60 in it, and I mean, does that fluid look dark? So, I don't see any burning here on the converter clutch or anything like that, so I can't blame the darkness on that yet. But let me look and see. I don't have the code sheet here on it, but you can tell definitely we have an issue with the fluid. So what we're going to do is get this apart. We're going to go in here and look at all the clutches and stuff like that. This is a two-wheel drive. Now we are going to be replacing the rear main seal, cover. The rear main seal is leaking pretty bad. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Get this lock-up O-ring off here real quick. We did a little drag racing this weekend. Peyton did really good, didn't you, Peyton? Yes. Did real good. So the new motor did really good. Car did really good all the way around. So we didn't win, but I mean we were like this much of pulling it off. But not too bad for the first time out on the new motor and stuff. So now we do have some good videos coming up of the race that we'll be showing here shortly. They'll actually before this video here. So you might have to look back on it. Now, we're going to be going back through this tranny and putting all of our good parts in here and stuff like that. Z-Pack, wide bands, all that type of stuff. Whether it's a 6-cylinder, a V8, 700 horsepower car, we always still put the same components on the inside of it. And then we modify the valve body and stuff like that, or the boost valve, whatever we're going to be doing to it to make it hold up to its application. So. Peyton and them tore down probably 20 4L60E cores over the last week. Made some pretty good racing money, didn't you? Yes. They got a few more 4L60Es to tear down today. Actually going to be working all week tearing down cores again, so they can make a good paycheck. Gonna be tearing down some AODEs, some 4R70Ws, some A500s, 518s. So these girls are going to get a really good taste of what an automatic transmission looks like. So you can look here in this pan. Does that look good, Peyton? No. It does not look good at all, does it? We do have the right filter on it. It's a deep pan filter. But it's definitely stopped up. Get our detent spring off. Does this look familiar, Peyton? After 25 or so 4L60Es? I bet you could tear one down blindfolded now almost, huh? Get our PWM solenoid off here. Now, if you notice here, guys, on these solenoids you have a narrow groove and a wide groove. That keeps you from plugging this in. See, it won't plug in. If you turn it around, it'll go on though. But it will not plug into the other side, so you don't get your solenoids mixed up. So on this one here is the same way. It will not plug into this one, because if you look here, you have a wide groove and a narrow groove. Can you see that? So, pretty simple. Get our lock-up solenoid out of the way. Our pillow switch. Now they also make two different plug-ins on this here. If you see these little notches here and here, the other one will only have one, the later version. So they will not plug in and you can't get them mixed up. The same way with your pressure control solenoid here, they make an early and a late. And they will not interchange. So. That is some dark fluid. You know, it's crazy, as dark as this fluid is, you would think it would smell really, really bad, but it doesn't. It has kind of like a varnish smell, but not no just burnt smell like you'd think it would be as bad as the fluid is. We're starting out with a 4L60E this morning. We've got a 700 down there that we're going to be doing. We're going to be switching the pump out of it, the input shaft out of it. We're going to be putting a big shaft and stuff in there. It's going behind a Jeep, a high horsepower Jeep, and we want to get that small shaft out of there. So we'll be changing the input shaft and drum and the pump stator, and then we'll be changing the converter too. So. And we have our pillow switch. Clean these up. If they're not burned up or anything, they're clicking really good, you can change your seals. They'll come in your overhaul kit if you need to save that. We have our 2 downshift solenoid here. Of course, all of our check balls just fell right off, so there's nothing there except that one there. I'll show you on it what it looks like. You would think a transmission shop check balls could get scarce, but sometimes they can. So now we're going to look in here and see if our PWM valve's been messed with, and it hasn't. It's just standard, and we'll get that all blocked up and we'll make it where that thing works really nice. So you can take this all, you don't want to pull all your valves up, but you can clean this up really nice. Look at your valves. If there's a lot of discoloring of a valve, replace it. You can go find you another valve out there in the valve body. You can buy a new Sonex valve. And find something that looks better than what you got in there. Forward engagement valve, accumulator valve, piston, excuse me. See all the trash in here. Like I say, you can look here and see if it wobbles, if it's bad. There's always going to be a lot of trash down in here. Scotch-Brite this up really good. So we get a lot of people say, it's just another 4L60E. But a lot of our customers can't get away from work or anything like that to come down here and physically look at their tranny and stuff like that. And I want them to see what it looks like. So they can just get on their laptop at home, they can get on their laptop at their work, get on their phone, anything like that, and look at their video or their transmission on our videos on YouTube. So it makes it really simple. A lot of people enjoy it. They don't have to even come down here to see what physically happened to their tranny. So you can see this check ball hole right here is very damaged. This check ball here, you could almost just shove it through the hole. A lot of times this ball will get beat in there so bad that it won't move anymore, and you have to physically come in there and pop it out. So this plate can still be repaired. It's not totally gone. Got your wiring harness to check it for fluid or anything like that. You can cut this off if your harness is good and put your fit all solenoid on there. It looked like that check ball fell in that hole. Let's see if that, okay, it did. It's kind of weird if one was sitting down in that hole so perfect. It looked like it was meant to be. Peyton, you learning a lot up here at the shop?
Yes.
You know more about transmissions than most boys do. So, say the plate's good. You could have some bad holes here too you need to repair, but just look at it really good. But this plate is repairable. You got your 4th gear accumulator. We're going to be stacking it with another piston, about a 30,000 shim in here. You know, we don't like beating the check ball in the case and running the case. It's easier just to do that little simple modification. That way you're done. Hold your park lever, turn the shaft, it'll pop and park. Now you can get to that bolt real easy. Pump aid. So the girls have learned a lot up here, being up here at the shop. So. And we have our 1-2 accumulator and spring. So we're going to Scotch-Brite this up really good, put a new aluminum piston in here. So Scotch-Brite's your friend all the way through these trannies, guys. We use so much of that stuff on all the surfaces that a bushing's going to touch, anything like that. So, also too, I get questions about this check ball right here. If this check ball falls out, you don't have to put it back in, just leave it out. If you don't want it in there, you think it's going to fall out, take it out. Doesn't matter. Now, if we're building a race car tranny, we're going to take it out anyway. Gonna, like I said, 4L60E morning. But we got Trenton and them out there pulling a 4-wheel drive Dodge diesel and a 2-wheel drive Dodge diesel. And we have like 4 more coming. So we're going to be really busy this week on Dodge diesels. And actually, we got one coming in all the way from New York this morning. And we're in Emerald, Texas, guys. Retired police officer, wants it done right. So. And look here at your stator. Looks really nice. Splines look good here. Looks really good here and here. You always want to check down in here where your sealing rings run. If you get any bushing wear here, the input shaft physically can rub down in here and ruin this stator. So you always want to check that. Here we have our pump O-ring. Now this wheel is the same as the 350, 400, stuff like that. If you don't have one, you can't find one. You're trying to do a patch job or a front seal leak or something, you need one. Got your pump slide. So a lot of them wear right through here, not so much in here where the paddles go, but we see a lot of wear through here. You always want to make sure your pin right here is good. That way your pump slide travels even. Same way here. You can see here how much more that converter could have went in that pump gear. So don't forget your spring. And then you want to look here for any type of wear. Looks really good. Just come in here. You can hit this with Scotch-Brite or you can use a buffing wheel to clean these surfaces up even more. So We have our intermediate band. You can see it's cooked here all the way through. Here, so we'll put a wide band in here. Even though it's a 5.3, it doesn't matter. All of our units get the same items put in them. So your bushings here. You can see this drum here is really bad. Now we'll put a straight edge on here just because it looks that way. This is a lot of just color. But if you come in here and you got a bow in the middle, anywhere around here, you want to check in 3 or 4 spots. If it's bowed anywhere, you want to get rid of that thing. Or you got high spots. You can see a high spot here. I mean, just get rid of this drum, get you a new drum. Just, we have our reverse clutch on the inside. See all the chatter marks and stuff like that. See how many miles this thing got on it? It's not actually on the ticket yet, but this, I believe, is a pretty high mileage vehicle. Now you want to look at this bearing right here for sure. Really close. My earlier video, I'm not sure if Trent's posted it yet, but we show you how bad this bearing can look if you pop these apart. So if you see any wear in here on this spacer, you better look at that bearing too, because if that bearing's going bad, it'll grab this spacer and spin it. And this is a shim, 70, 69, 68, depending on how your clearances are. You can see this one here looks really good on both sides, so it's probably never been spinning. But if this bearing gets bad, then this race right here will try to physically spin in the drum, and which causes this washer to turn. So that's where you get wear there. You got your sealing rings here. I mean, they're just about totally wore out. So that one is really, so look both ends, Scotch-Brite these up down in here and here. You want to look here for wear on this aluminum drum, for any where your reverse clutch runs. You can see some little markings here where it's starting to do it, but there's no grip or anything right there. So of course here we got our 3/4 clutch. It's cooked. You can see the teeth are just almost totally gone on the clutch, and then all the clutches are bad. Now our load springs are still in here. Looks pretty weak, starting to get low in the housing here, so we'll put some new ones of those in there. So I believe these people were going to make it home or drove this truck until there's just nothing left, fortunately. See the forward clutch. Once the filter stops up, you have failures at other places, you're just going to slowly just start burning everything up if you just keep on going. There's just going to be nothing left. So look at our sprag assembly here. You can see here, this, if you take them apart and they got this brass thrust plate there, 90% of the time you'll have wear here. Sometimes you won't, 90% of the time this is no good though, especially when you have this style of support washer right here for your sprag. It'll wear so bad that it'll make a groove where it locks in, see? Like it has a slot for it, when it doesn't. It just should slide freely all the way around. So, single cage sprag, original sprag. You want to look here for any chatter marks or anything like that. Same way here. Look for any wear here, any chatter marks, Scotch-Brite that out, put you some new bushings in there. Check your sun gear for any type of wear on both sides. Any pitting, chips, anything like that. So, just a high mileage 4L6D, guys. Another good GM transmission. And we do have a roller bearing support here. Like I say, most of our wear is in the spines here. They did fix the problem of it wearing here on the lower sun gear bushing, but with 9% of the time we have wear in here. Now, they didn't harden the whole piece, they just hardened this end right here. So, replace that. Check your sun gear for wear on either side of the teeth here for your planet. Same way, check your gears here for any wobbling, pin discoloring. Where your bushing runs here, check this bearing out here. Get your shell out of there. Always replace your shell. Even if you don't have no wear, I mean, these things are notorious about breaking still. Got our output shaft, got our yoke seal in here. We have our anti-clunk spring. We have our lower outer ring gear for our planet. So you don't see much wear here normally. You know, Scotch Brite this. You may want to look at your teeth here. Look at your planetary gear for any type of wobbling chips or anything like that. Pin discoloration. You always want to check this bearing out here. Put that sun gear on it and you push really hard and you'll be able to feel that bearing there if you can feel any wear in it and stuff like that. So pretty simple. Low reverse clutch assembly, you got your wave. Now on this one here, we'll leave the wave in. The plastic 4-tab washer, your inner race for your sprag assembly. Always Scotch Brite this up. It'll go back either direction, there's no certain way. Put a new sprag in here. Just remember your spring always pushes your roller uphill. Always take and Scotch Brite this, or we use a buffing wheel to clean this up too, because your clutch is going to run here too, so you want to do that. Like I say, just another 4L60E, guys. But as black as that fluid is, you'd think this thing would send you out of the room, but it really doesn't. I don't understand why, or my sinuses are plugged up. I don't know. But Peyton, I want to thank you again for recording. Definitely. And we're going to get this back together, and we got a bunch of Dodge diesels due this week. So y'all have a great day, and y'all stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.